Recording, and welcome everyone. I thought today we might just look at a few different charts. Maybe we can look at a bit of Forex, bit of commodities, something we don't do a lot of. GM copy. GFM took a 35%. All right, well we'll have a look at that too. So I was gonna go with some Forex and some stocks and commodities and talk a little bit about Forex, but by all means feel free to put in the chat if there's anything in particular that you want to have a look at. So maybe we'll start with GFM for Bill, since it's 2 a.m. there, and we don't want to keep you up too much, but GFM should be here somewhere, I guess. GFM USD. Let's have a quick look. Wowee. Just a matter of time, hey? Look at this. Obviously, we know that this is not the full chart. Full chart is on Dex Screener, but this is a good move for GFM. Fully broke structure. This is great. Took out the high, made a new higher high. Now we want to see this low being kept and potentially do some sort of 76 retracement here to fill some of this imbalance, very big imbalance left behind on the 4 hour. So give me something like this for GFM. Give me a re-entry around the 16 cents and let's bump it. That's awesome. GoFund meme this is. So we're talking crypto now. I'll call it a competitor to Pumped Off Fund, and I know that was it yesterday or the other day we shared Lana in the chats, and that was launched on GoFundMe. I am actually super bullish because they launched on GoFundMe. And why am I bullish? Because that's right, yes, the whole concept and premises behind GoFundMe is, instead of launching and then having everyone dumping on you, what GoFundMe does, launch, then takes 50% of that launch liquidity and puts it into a liquidity pool where you earn money. So that is bullish. It prevents cheating. We don't like cheating. It's okay to take profit, of course. That's what we're here for. We're all in crypto to make money, but too many cheats on Pumped Off Fun and GoFundMe and any project like Lana the other day. Bullish on that. So thanks for the shout out on GoFundMe. That's awesome to see. We'll wait for a re-entry, and then I'll probably put that in my portfolio too. Let's have a little look-see at, as usual, we look at the dollar. Today is a trading day. It's not a weekend, so the dollar looks like it's pushing up, wants to push up, which makes perfect sense. If you follow stocks like I do, you would have seen a lot of the stocks drop in today. It's been a bit of a bloodbath in the stock market. We'll take a look later, but makes perfect sense. On the daily, we can see this dollar really taking out these highs. The candle, this is an engulfing candle, of course. As soon as we close above this, potentially we can go and fill some of this imbalance, but overall, the dollar is still bearish. You can see we're making lower low. So unless we start pushing back into the 108.500, which I don't think we will, it's good. Dollar's going to drop. So give me something like this, and we keep going down. So we have a good understanding of what the market is today, which makes perfect sense. Like I said, look at some of the stocks. S&P 500, for example. Massive dump. Look at this. Dollar goes up, and S&P 500, for S&P 500 to have a 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive daily bearish candle, a little doji, which really wasn't a bullish candle, 5 and 6. Yeah, it's stocks are going to take a bit of a correction at this stage, and you can see here this high was barely made, and we're losing a bit of steam, but stocks overall, they will go up. I wouldn't be surprised if we enter again into these areas for S&P 500. So 5.8, 5.4, which obviously would mean good opportunity for buying some of the stocks. There was a stock that we called out a little while ago. I called out back in, I think it was, I want to say October, November. It was American Airlines, and I said It's time to sell American Airlines if you own it. And would you look at that? This was the original harmonic, called the top, and now we are down on. If you did listen to that call, you would have saved yourself a 25% drop on American Airlines, which we don't like our portfolio to go down. So I am expecting American Airlines to eventually recover. So for a buy on stocks, I will probably look at something like here, down here, potentially in this gap for American Airlines. Obviously this is on the daily, so we're looking at $11. It will take some time to eventuate. The earnings are coming out in April, so I wouldn't be surprised if we head down there slowly, and then in April we boom up. So the stocks, mind you, I played on very much higher time frame. So if you do follow stock plays, it's super important that you put yourself some alerts on TradingView. Yeah. What's the update on price action? So Nike has been pretty crap, to be honest, and you know, we can't win them all. I bought Nike myself for portfolio, and Sexy bought Nike too. So it's, you can see my active position, Nike is there. It's actually, oh, there you go. So we up. It did went back down. This was my original entry, our original entry. That was entry 1. Entry 2 was down here. So if you took entry 2, you would be up. And if you took entry 1, you're still up, not a lot, but we are back in the green, which is good. But it did crap the bed a little bit. We did feel that imbalances, which is, it's a good thing. So we took out all this liquidity, these equal lows down here. We took them all out quite clearly. That's good. That means that we are now ready, and this is obviously a nice push up for Nike. Looking at potentially retesting this gap, so this wouldn't be a bad entry if you haven't had one yet, especially if you didn't enter on entry 2. This could be a nice little entry at $77 for Nike on the long term. I am bullish, of course, on Nike. The next earnings are gonna come out in March as well. I am targeting eventually this kind of 120 area, so we'll see. From our entry on portfolio, targeting call it there at 40% at minimum, and roughly about 50% if everything goes well. So I will be looking, however, I'm gonna drop a new one which we haven't talked about, as Snapchat. So Snapchat, obviously we all know, massively, you know, it was on everyone's lips recently. They put in some big earnings. They introduced, I think it's some sort of like stores or shops that you can have on Snapchat. So the earnings are there. Price action is going down. I have this equal lows set here for Snapchat, and I want to see them taken out. As soon as we go near them, I'm going to look at lower time frame, and yeah, I'm going to long this thing. I'm going to take an option here probably, and if you're not familiar with options, it's basically a bid with price and time. So I'm going to be bidding that when we get somewhere down here. Obviously I can't say now for sure where I'm going to be bidding, but it will be in this vicinity, and I'm going to be bid that the price is going to go up, and then I'm going to decide when. And this way the bid actually pays us a lot more than just holding the stock, but it's something that I do for not hugely expensive stocks, of course, because it is a lot more expensive than to just buy a stock, and then you also put in the risk of obviously having the time variable as well as the price variable. So something a little bit more advanced, and if you want to know about it, please let me know in the chat or put it in the stocks channel, and we can do a deep dive on what stock options are. I know we've covered them, I think 2 or 3 times already, but something that as the market goes down, and I'm not really interested in crypto too much until we see some serious bottom formed or price action, I'm going to be looking at options a little bit. So put it on your radar. Put some alerts for Snapchat. I will start putting alerts from $9 all the way down to $7.50 or even $6.50. Good area. I bought Nike when I was listening last time. What about Coca-Cola? I can't remember who called Coca-Cola, but we can definitely take a look at Coca-Cola. What's the ticker? Is that? I'm assuming it's that? It wouldn't be Coke, would it? Coca-Cola consolidated Nasdaq, maybe? Haven't been looking at it much, but let's have a little look. Yeah, when are the next earnings? They just had earnings, obviously. They didn't go well, I'm assuming. Okay, yeah. Earnings, 20th of Feb. The next earnings are far in May. Yeah, I mean, you can see this is not a great sign for Coke. When we can see this kind of lower highs being made. So you can see here, we've got higher high, lower high. So I'm expecting some sort of lower high potentially here being made, and maybe a retracement into this area, and potentially even down here to fill some of these equal lows that we have. So yeah, I wouldn't buy Coke right now personally if this is the chart, and unless you're playing lower time frames. I am expecting some sort of retracement on Coke potentially, just to take out. You can see this big line of liquidity. Let me just mark it up right here. All this line start a bit taking out obviously right here, and when these things happen, I think I covered it the other day, a very easy cheat to do is you just take a fib from the low and the high when you have such a clear trend line going up, and you just wait for the 76. It's our favorite area, and the 76 obviously coincides in a very nice way with these equal lows. So I'll probably be looking at Coke around the 1240, sorry. What do you use to trade traditional market? Well, depends in which country and jurisdiction you are relevant. Obviously in Australia we have a few different options. We can go with Webull, we can go with a few others. We got what's that, the green one, I forgot. We've got a few. Personally I trade stock and do options on Webull. It's just what I've got available here in Australia, but there's a few other options as well. If you're in the US, you can use many more, so you have to do a bit of Australia. For Australia, personally, I use Webull. I'm not affiliated with it. It's just a platform that I like. I've got have a nice layout. Can't remember what I got it, but I don't want to open it because I've got a few trades open there. But yeah, it's a nice, easy layout. Lets you do options. They've got a mobile app, so I just like it personally. But they'll, as bad as each other, they'll take money from you for trading. So one thing that I do want to shout though, in terms of stocks, and I want to put everyone's attention on it, is coffee. I personally posted it on X. I think it was last night. I was eyeing coffee here October last year, and I was telling all my friends we should really put coffee on the map, and obviously, do you think I bought? No, I didn't. I forgot to buy. But coffee is obviously, as you can see, it went on an absolutely tear. Like, he was at 240, 2x's, and he's potentially giving us some good re-entry soon. And now you might say, hey Ozzy, what do you mean coffee? Like, you can buy anything. You're buying coffee contracts, right? You're not, like, of course you can buy coffee beans, but you're not going to be able to sell them for $440. These are the contracts, and you can have contracts on anything: grass-fed beef, coffee, grains, soy, you name it. You can literally buy anything on the market. So coffee is something that I want to put in my portfolio when we go back potentially into this 5618 zone soon. I think we are going to see a bit of a drop. So you can see we're already starting here. We topped up at 440, and I'm expecting some sort of retest of this big price action here. There's a lot of volume that happened here. You're gonna buy beer? I'll buy beer every weekend. No, actually joking. I'm on a massive detox at the moment. So after 3 weeks in Japan, I'm just literally doing steak and water, steak fast, and day 4 I've already shed a few kilos, so that works. But I do love beer. But I'm fairly sure you can buy grains, so and wheat and all those stuff. Actually, no, I'm not pretty sure. I know for a fact. So that's one way to have exposure to beer, and all other assets. But put it on your radar, fam, because coffee, obviously, you can see can explode in the space of just a few months at 2x. And we're talking obviously an asset here. We're not in crypto, so this wasn't a day move. This was a few months, but that's just how stock move. You can see if you bought in October last year as opposed to October this year, so just 1 year, you would have made 4x on your investment, and just sitting there. These are coffee contracts just sitting in there. Things don't always just go up, of course, they do need to come down. You can see here we had this nice big run from $120 all the way to 260, and then we retested the 140. But wait for some retrace here, and potentially if we do not hold here, I'm actually gonna add a little bit more to this, to my coffee stack here. So this is something that I just want to be transparent about. I think it's a good opportunity, similar to silver, to be honest. If we look at silver, which is SAG USD. So silver, obviously we all know that gold is gone on an absolute tear. Actually, I've got it on my, let me just have a look. I've got, there you are, silver. So silver, that was just a trade that I did. Maybe we'll just delete that. That was a long, which nice profits there. You can see silver again, like gold, absolute tear from 2022. This thing just keeps going up, but at the moment we are facing some sort of resistance here. You can see higher high, lower high. You can call this potentially, we might be making maybe some sort of head and shoulder pattern, even though not perfect, could be a bit like this. We'll have to see if we can hold this area right here. Okay, so we'll see. If we don't hold this kind of neckline, let me just do it a little bit more clean. But if this could be a bit of a neckline happening right here, potentially. If we do not hold this kind of neckline that we are potentially making on a head and shoulder pattern, then we might just head back somewhere, potentially in the 24, or even here lower into the 21s, in which case I will be screaming stack up silver, because it's not going to stay long for a very long time. So I'll just leave this chart here for posterity. Let's have a look at what reaction we have from this potential head and shoulder on silver. But yeah, definitely I'm not going to be buying now, but I am going to be a serious buyer of silver. And with silver you can buy actually silver, gold. It's just the same way you buy gold. You can buy what they call bullets, not bullets, sorry, just not enough coffee today, but yeah, the plates, silver plates and whatnot. So, and you can buy and trade in that way, or you can just have exposure via contracts. And speaking of silver, we'll take a quick peek at gold. Gold is again super on a massive tear at the moment. I did manage, I can't remember if I called it or not, but I did have a nice short and long setup here, and I haven't taken a long since, because I think we are eventually going to let me just delete that too, sorry, there's all things that I need to log, but because I do keep trades logged. You can see silver has been going, of course, gold on a tear. I do expect, however, some retracement here. So if you don't have gold in your portfolio, or you're just playing leverage on gold, I would say definitely not buy now. And the reason is, you can see we've actually broken structure on the daily. We started making some lower highs, some lower lows. Let me just quickly read the chart. I have a position in race oncology, but it's bleeding for about a year. Average buy is 80 cents. You think we're going back there based on price action? I'll take a look in a second. But you can see here on gold, we're starting to make some lower lows. This was really the catalyst here for me to say I'm not going to be a buyer. This lower low here, about there. Yeah, so I want to see gold coming back into this kind of price action, support, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, we can just simply do a handy dandy fib, from the move, the low to the high, and would just be waiting for a retracement around the 76. I don't know if it might go that low on something that has such a high demand. 50.6, 50 and 618 are probably going to be the first areas that we can kind of look at. So this area and these areas, they can be our areas of interest. I always like to box them up. So even when I delete the fib, I have a visual reference as to where we might come back to. So potentially some sort of movement like this, and then we might just stall here for a bit, give us a pushback, and then we might see another drop down maybe, and then the big move up. So this is obviously just speculation, but this kind of price action is very possible for gold, where we see a little bit of a retrace. We'll see. But for gold, I'm going to refrain for now into taking any long big swing position, but that doesn't stop me or us to take short scalping position. You can see we're making here a nice, and I'm doing this analysis with you. I haven't had the time to check the charts this morning. I was on meetings and calls, but this is a nice clear liquidity line forming here on gold, and I'm expecting this to be taken out. So this could potentially give us a nice little scalp there. So this could be a nice little gold scalp that we could take now on the 15 minutes or even on the 5 minutes. We pushed higher, and obviously I'm not going to have the time to take it myself, but feel free to if you want. This is a live trade call now. So we made a high, so obviously high, a lower high, higher high, and then we started to push up. So this could be a nice little 1 2 3, I'd say. Yeah, 1 to 2. Yeah, look at that, 1 to 2.9, and we'll be targeting this high, which obviously would take out this liquidity line right here, and then potentially we can look at a short move again to do that. So I've been having some fun with gold personally. It's a little bit more enticing for me at the moment as opposed to crypto, which is just been giving me nightmares in terms of the price action. It's not very clear. It's not. I'm not liking. I'm not liking the price action. Big Max is in the house. GM brother, thank you for tuning in too. Sorry, I just saw you in there. Your sexy face. Yeah, this was just a few little stocks and commodities in there. But why don't we take a look at what we just chatting was the RAC. So that will be back in stocks. Race Oncology. Let's have a look what the price action looks like. Obviously we always start from the very high time frame. So okay, so your entry was 80 cents. So let me just make it visual. So somewhere here. Okay, so this was your entry, and I'm assuming you would have entered potentially somewhere here. I assume relevant. You would have entered somewhere potentially down here. Well, I'll just wait. I mean, if you didn't take profit here, you could still. I would wait. You can scale a little bit out. You should still be up 2x. Oh no, actually no, because it's 1.16, so 30% roughly. Yeah, Christmas 2023. So yeah, that was here. So you enter, really good entry, because you literally managed to catch the retest. So great entry there. And now it's just a matter of, do we hold these lows? I think we might. Like, this is obviously bearish price action for now. But if this was a 1 hour chart as opposed to a weekly chart, which we are now, I would say, just wait again, because I do think for a chart like this, without knowing too much, the earnings are coming up on, what was that, a few days ago, did they? They already came out, which is probably why it's pushing down. Yeah, so they would have had negative earnings, or not very good earnings. The next earnings are not going to be until August. So this could be very much a case where we just slowly bleed down until August, and then the earnings come up positive, and we start seeing the reversal from there. If you look at a fib, I'm fairly sure this will tell you exactly where it is, and look at that, 786, 886. So you're actually going to go back. It might actually go back into your entry, 786, 886, but we might just, yeah, like I said, slowly come back down here and then take out money and keep going up. So it's not a bad idea to take a little bit of profit here, but ultimately, if you do believe that this is a project that fits within your investing criteria and portfolio, by all means, definitely, I would hold personally. This was the time to take profit, or here, and if you didn't do it, that's fine. It's too late now. You might see your portfolio and your entry getting hit again, but you know, maybe take a little bit off the table here. I can't give you financial advice. This is your money, so I can tell you how I would play. But yeah, this is not a terribly this is not a horrible chart. That's all I'm gonna say. There's worse charts out there. Yeah. This thing, you know, all-time high obviously was back in 2021. So $3. Even if we come back into, let's have a look at quickly at volume, which for all the volume was had here. So you can see the big bulk of the volume was in this move, this candle right here. Right now there's very little volume, which is probably, you know, why we're going down, but nothing stops us from potentially trading back into this volume, or even this volume candle, which was right here. So potentially taking out this high. So yeah, I'm not against holding for sure. This candle did get mitigated, so this weekly candle did get filled by this wick, but why nothing tells us that we shouldn't potentially go and revisit this wick as well. So let's move to a different one unless anyone else has got different topic. I was going to say, unless anyone has any more questions on stocks, I was going to go into some Forex, which is my this is what I trade every day. This is my bread and butter, you can say. And for which Forex, I guess, I want to know in the chats, do any of you trade Forex? And if so, how much? Does it make a big percentage of your trading? Does it make a small percentage of your trading? I'm curious in the chat to know. Or 0% in your trading? I want to know. I do not. Awesome. So that's good. That means that all this is new and we're learning. Yeah, we'd love to learn. That's fantastic. So yeah, I'm interested. Excellent. Nothing. 15 last 1500. So we have I'll put the link in the chats later on, but I've got some really good recordings from Forex last time, and it's actually on my YouTube. If you go on my YouTube channel, there's a whole playlist, and there's one that says trading Forex with Aussie. So go and have a look at that one. We broke down the basics of Forex and why it's such an important market. There's trillions of dollars going through Forex every day. If you can think that, you know, we're talking about the whole of crypto being a $4 trillion industry, whereas in Forex we have trillions and trillions every day. So it's the number one market to trade. But the trading principle in Forex are very much the same. We always look for liquidity. In this case, obviously, we're looking at US dollars against Canada, a Canadian dollar. And the main thing to understand in Forex is it's basically a PVP. And what I mean by that is, whereas in crypto, you have, say, for example, XRP, and it's trading against the USD. This is also a one against each other. In Forex, you have the US dollar trading against the Canadian dollar in this case, right? So it's literally a PVP of two currencies against each other, and the chart obviously is the PVP reflection of that. In this case, I am looking at the majors. So if you are new to Forex and you want to learn and start, I would say don't focus on anything that you can see here on my watch list, aside from what's called majors, okay? And the majors are obviously the DXY, which is the dollar index. That's what we always start all of our calls from. That doesn't trade against anything. It's just the index of the dollar. But then we always look at Euro against USD, the GBP, which is the pound, the British pound against USD, and Australian dollar versus USD, and New Zealand dollar against USD. These are the major one. You can argue that USD versus Canada is also major, and potentially even euro or pound against JPY, which is the Japanese yen. So the JPY we'll touch later, but basically these pairs are very volatile. Even though they are a major, I don't condone trading them as a first-time forex trader. They are very volatile. They're quite hard to trade. So stick to this for 4 or 5, and you'll be good, because you can get a grasp solid of forex. And when you trade, I want you to get into the habit of not thinking about what you're trading. A chart is a chart. Doesn't matter if it's forex, crypto, stocks, or commodity. So we always follow the same approach. Steps number 1 is always starting from higher time frame. So we always start, I actually like to start from the monthly, just to give me some sort of an idea of where the absolute macro is. And you can see on the macro of EURUSD, obviously, we are now tapping the 76. It's here, 76. We tapped it, we had some nice big reaction, and now we're retesting. So this is on a monthly, right? And then we scale down slowly. What's the next time frame down? Is going to be the weekly. Weekly, we have been consolidating here for quite some time. Remember, each candle is a week here, so it is a long time. And we finally broke below this liquidity, and we take some money out. Now we formed 2 equal lows here and here, which means that is an area of liquidity I am interested in having it retested and taken. That already happened, actually. Sorry, I didn't see that there. Right there, it already happened. So that tells me that EURUSD is now potentially ready to move up, which makes sense because we just talked about the dollar eventually in the long term being bearish. So if here we're playing euro against the US dollar, we can expect euro to be stronger against a weaker dollar. Makes perfect sense. That's why it's so important to always start from the dollar when you're trading forex. It gives you a direction of what you're trading. So we have an idea on the weekly as to what might happen, and then we can just scale it down onto the daily. You can see on the daily we're starting to make some nice higher lows, right? So this could potentially be a nice buying opportunity right here for EURUSD. Obviously that was a candle that I highlighted. I didn't take any trade from it because I always want to see lower time frames. But if we took a very easy fib from the low, actually this will be the low, to be honest, from the low to the high, this was potentially, I'm gonna say, a 3-year 2 retracement. I don't have 3-year 2 because I don't really like it, but I'll just put it on the chart. There you go. That was a 3-year 2 retracement. This is a very weak retracement, so I don't like taking trades on a fib from a high. You can see this was the low, this was the high. I like to see markets come lower. When these trades happen, the market is not very strong. It doesn't have a strong direction, so more often than not, there is more pressure to come, either buy or selling pressure. So I don't take trades off the 3-year 2 personally, even though 3-year 2 is a fib level and it does have a place. I'm also a little bit reluctant to take the 50% at 618, but I do take it as a first trade with a lower entry, as a lower percentage, I say. But my favorite area to take trade off is the 786 to 886. So before I take this EURUSD buy on a daily, I would like to see it come back somewhere in this vicinity. Okay, so what I do in forex and crypto alike is always I box up my area, right? That's my area of interest, and I just basically want to see what happened in that area on a lower time frame. If there's any candles, so from the daily we can go back into the 4-hour. And you can see on the 4-hour 786, 886, this was the area right here. There is some nice action. There's no candles though. There's no candles of interest there that I can see. There's nothing that sticks out. There's equal lows. There's no bearish or bullish, very interesting candles. But I want to know in the chat if you can tell me if you can see here somewhere in there where is a nice area that we could be looking at a buy for this pair, EURUSD. There's a candle that sticks out to me like a sore thumb. Can you tell me which candle it is? Tell me when to stop. I'll keep going. We'll do this game. Relevant is typing 1314. There, this one. Is this the one you're talking about? If that's the one, it's bingo. This candle right here, yes, it's the 5618, which we just talked about. Look at that, it's in the 5618 area. So we have here on a 4 hour, which is obviously a very powerful time frame, we have a very bearish push from what was previously a bullish price action. You can see market started moving up, then a massive push down to then have an engulfing explosion up. So smart money was definitely behind this kind of manipulation here, and therefore we are interested in this candle for a retest. So EURUSD might not give us the 786, 886 area that I like to trade off, but it very likely will give us this 50% 618 area and retest this 4 hour candle. So this is basically top to bottom how I trade Forex and crypto like. Always looking at a combination of candles and fib zones. So you can see now I can finally map out my 4 hour candle. And if I do decide to take this position, it will be low, not right at the low, but a little bit lower. I like to give it a bit of room, and just targeting the highs up here. You're looking at a 1.2 or 2.5. I actually because we just did the top down analysis from the higher time frame to the lower time frame. We know we're going to go higher, so I can use those fib extensions that you can see here in blue, the 272, the 414, and the 618. So my first TP will be the fib extension of the 272, and that gives me a 3.75 risk to reward. So this is a trade that I actually really like, and I'm gonna hop off the call and set up. So I just wanted to basically have a look at the markets live, so that you can see how I trade Forex, how I trade crypto, so you can go and replicate and understand why the charts, have a buy in that area without too many things on. But now you can see in these lives, and even on the 1 hour, this is a very nice candle to target. You can see big push down. Does Webull? I don't know. You'll have to look into it. I have never done any research on it, but you can definitely look into it. And one thing about Forex that I really like, and you can do this on crypto too, is the ability to trade straight from TradingView. So if you go into your TradingView at the bottom, you can see there's a trading panel, and if you actually make it bigger, it gives you a bunch of Forex traders mostly. These are all Forex and commodity traders that you can use. There's many more that you can go and choose. You can see there's explore brokers, and it will give you a list of all sorts. I trade my Forex on IC markets on MT4 when I do that, and I can literally just take trades on TradingView without even leaving the platform. So I don't have to have MT4 open. I just have to have a CTrader account, which is a type of trading account, linked on my TradingView, and I can just literally right click on TradingView, and it's as simple as saying right click, trade, create new order, and then obviously you need to be logged in, and it will give you the option to put in size, TP, stop loss, percentage, and it's really quick and easy. So basically you can trade Forex on can you deposit with Pay ID in IC markets, you mean? I've never done it. Potentially you can. Lots of these brokers are international, mind you, so not just Aussie. So I know that I've always done bank transfer or bank transfer because it's cheaper, and I've done USDT transfer too. You can do USDT, which is handy if you trade crypto. You can just have a separate account. Just just have a bit of a diversification into your trading. But this is yeah, this is cool. This is what I do mostly, team. I like Forex a lot. It is heavily manipulated. As you can see, we saw below earlier in gold. Gold is crazy manipulated on the lower time frame. I know we were having this discussion with Mac not long ago in the chats where you have to be really quite wary of the manipulation of gold. When you see these kind of equal lows, you know they're going to be taken out. So always be wary. Gold, silver, and the big assets are heavily manipulated. So unless you really know what you're doing, and especially because you're playing with an asset that costs a bit, it might wreck you. So yeah, have a little look see. Oh, look at that, hey. If you took that trade, you almost TP'd. Called live. He did take out that liquidity, but didn't quite TP. So that would have been a nice, almost zero drawdown trade right there. Okay, another option, another pair that obviously I personally trade quite a bit because of my time zone. As you can guess by my username, I am in Australia, so obviously for me, AUD, USD, so Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar are very much relevant because they are on my time frame. Unfortunately, I am playing in what's called an Asia session. So in crypto, we don't really have this, but because crypto is open 24/7, right? But if you go in your indicators, you can actually see trading sessions. There is indicators for everything. So every one of these lines that you're about to see is a trading session. What is it not looking at? Not letting me. On intraday time frames. Okay, so it has to be like on a 4-day. There you go. Oh my gosh, what is this? It's too many. Trading session. That's not what I wanted to show you. Sorry, let me just try again. I do have one which is trading session. No, they must have changed it because this indicator basically had it's like bars that go up and down. But obviously the market opens at certain times in New York, opens at certain times on Asia session, and open at certain times in the UK session. So we have 3 different types of sessions. We have what's called the New York session, we have the London session, and then we have the Asia session. And the New York and the UK sessions are the one with the most volatility and the most price action. But unfortunately for us Aussie, obviously we are mostly up during the Asia session, which is okay if you know what to expect. And in the Asia session, it's when you see this kind of price action. In the Asia session, you usually see consolidation. You can still trade on lower time frame, and then this will be obviously maybe at the end of a New York session, and this will be again during a New York session. Basically, all the liquidity moves, the liquidity grabbing moves, usually happen during London and or New York. Not always, but it's something for us to consider. But AUDUSD, of course, is a little bit somewhat different because you are playing at home. You're playing with Australian dollar. So I do like to play AUDUSD, even though it doesn't pay as well as other pairs, because every pair pays a little bit different for each pip. And if you don't know what pips are, make sure that gotta go. See you, Cappy. Thank you. If you don't know what pips are in Forex, make sure to go and check out the video on my channel on YouTube, because I explained that. You can see each pair pays a little bit different, but yeah, AUDUSD is a good one for us, and similar setup to what we just discussed. And you'll see this in Forex a fair bit, where charts against one pair, they often look this very similar. You can see the same candle that was in the 5618 zone for EURUSD. There's a nice candle here at the 618702. fib zone in AUDUSD that I probably play off, and obviously we're starting to now make some equal lows down here. I'm not going to buy this. I think we are going to go a little bit lower and retest here, but I wouldn't mind taking a little punt on this kind of area. And I hope you can see, I hope you can understand why I'm pointing to this candle, because this was obviously a very bullish price action for 1, 2, 3, 4 for 20 hours. So because each candle is 4 hours, and then we had 2 consecutive push down, and we took obviously liquidity on lower time frames. So I'm sure if I got onto that 1 hour, we will see some sort of liquidity being grabbed right here. This is a beautiful candle, so I will play off this 782. I'm going to mark it up right there live and play off that candle right there from there to there. So that's my entry. And then I can go back here and take a nice little long from there. So this is how I play Forex, and similar to EURUSD, I do expect I guess the dollar to drop, so I can expect the strength of Australian dollar against the US dollar to go up a little bit. So this will be a nice setup. I could potentially do something below here. This will be the sensible choice, but I'm going to play conservative. I don't like to have too many pips open, and you can see here on the long setup, it actually tells you how many pips that is. So 33.5 pips. If it doesn't do that, you can just go into style, and is it on style? Always shows stats, I think it is, unless you have this unticked. If you do compass stats mode, it only gives you the risk to reward, but if you untick that, it actually gives you how many pips and the percentage risk as well. So I like to have the pips as a, instead of having to calculate them, just the buy and sell telling me how many pips there are. So 33 pips is acceptable for a stop loss on a 4 hours. If I was to do lower, I'll be talking about 108 pips, which would require a fairly large account for you to play with 1 or 2%. So I don't want to risk too much. So 35 pips usually is my go-to there. Yeah, this was just a couple of examples of how I trade Forex. We had a look at a couple of stocks, of course. And if there's any questions in the chat, please do feel free to either get off mute or put them in the chat. I just wanted to give you guys a little snippet of live trading, and we did call out a nice gold on that. How did we go on that gold? It's probably moving back up. Yep, there you go. This thing is gonna go onto TP for sure. See a few people in the chat writing, so I'll just wait. Pleasure, Relevant. Pleasure. Definitely want to spend some more time on this. No problem at all, Nicole. And yeah, absolutely. If you tune in on the weekly market overviews that I do on Wednesdays, usually, I'm absolutely happy to take requests and go over some Forex stuff, because like I said, I do a lot of Forex and stocks and commodities, so always happy to. All right, team. Well, I guess this is the awesome little quick session. Just wanted to give you a bit of a makeup session from the one that I missed last week, because obviously I was traveling through Japan. But at least now we get a bit of a train started on what Forex might look like for us on GDG. And yeah, bring them on. Bring more Forex, I say, and more other stuff, and we'll learn. Now we can talk about oils and a few other things. But for now, I'm gonna love ya and leave ya. And I'll catch you guys and girls on another stream soon. Goodbye.